Hello everyone and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris.
Fuck off. As you've just heard, this guy is called Michael Voris, and he is the face of Real Catholic TV on YouTube. Many of you may or may not be aware of who he is and what he does on YouTube, but he's essentially just a fundamentalist Catholic who talks about fundamentalist Catholic-y things. Obviously, from my perspective, from our perspective as atheists, a lot of what he talks about might be seen as silly or strange. But what's kind of troubling is it really doesn't take much effort for him at all to say things that are deeply disturbing and kind of messed up. And of course this is the case when he's talking about homosexuality. This video that I'm showing you now is called Catholic and Homosexual. I'm just going to show you a few clips so you can get a flavour of what exactly he's trying to say here.
With so much swirling around in the culture these days about homosexuality, from the military policy to same-sex marriage to gay adoption, it's always good to think about this topic from a Catholic mind, a Catholic point of view. We all know the Church's teaching. This vortex is more about a spirituality that needs to be seen with regard to homosexuality. For the man or woman who discovers this about themselves, the reaction must range from bewilderment to sadness to anger. A lonely heterosexual Catholic, either divorced or single, who wants to be married is in a completely different category than a homosexual faithful Catholic who simply cannot get married because he or she desires the same level of intimacy but cannot even entertain it. This is a cross that has little by way of comparison, and seen with the Catholic mind, it also means that this person, made in the image of God, is more intensely loved by God than most others. It is a long-standing tradition in the Church that there are such people as victim souls, those who suffer in a way more exacting than most of the rest of us. So what is the aim of this intensity of suffering? What it has always been, the salvation of souls. It is modeled after the crucifixion. It is a scourge laid on those who suffer with loneliness of never really feeling that they are like everyone else. This is true. The person who suffers from the cross of homosexuality is not like most other people. They are buffeted from not only external temptations and constant reminders of their difference by news and media stories, but they also undergo the internal, quiet pain of knowing that in many cases, this is simply their lot. I do not know, but I suspect at some point in their lives, many such souls actually come to the intuition that God has specially chosen them to be instruments of salvation like few others have been chosen. And as a result, they actually glory in their cross. In the Catholic mind, amidst the suffering of the cross, there is also a twofold joy. The knowledge that you are working out your own salvation, and you get to cooperate with our blessed Lord in leading many other souls to heaven in your wake. God bless you. I'm Michael Voris.
Right. Basically, he's saying that God created gay people to suffer more than most so that he can love them more when they die and go to heaven if they don't act on the urges that he has given them. If they do act on it, if they do indeed cave to the intensity of their sexual urges, they go to hell, to burn forever in a lake of fire. Now you guys know how I feel about hell. It's kind of messed up as a concept. But let's just leave that aside for the moment and just focus on what exactly he's saying. He's saying that there exists a concept in the Catholic Church whereby there are people who are known as victim souls. These people are chosen to suffer more than most and are therefore loved more by God. Now that's my first issue. Why exactly does God delight in suffering so much? Why has he created specific people who, if they want to live in accordance with his rules that he set down, will end up having really, really shit lives? Why does he think he can do that and then just say, oh, well, that means I love you more? It seems a little bit odd. Hi, God. I'm David. Oh, don't worry, my child. I know very well who you are. Yep, I'm the guy you made gay and then said I had to resist these urges my entire life so that when I die, I don't burn in hell forever. That's the one. Yeah, so anyway, I died. Yes, you did. Yeah, I was hit by a car. Yeah, I know, those drunk drivers. What a wreck. You must have really suffered. Yes, I did. It really, really hurt. And then I died. Yeah, so by all accounts, you've had a pretty shit life. Yeah, I have. Oh, God, I love that. And I love you more as a result. Awesome. Anyway, can I get into heaven, please? Sure thing, David. Walk right in. You didn't have sex with one man your entire life, even though I made you really, really want to. I know. I'm aware of that, God. No need to remind me, constantly. Anyway, I've got a couple of questions before I walk on into heaven. First of all, my brother was in the passenger seat. What happened to him? Oh, John? Yeah, he died. Oh, well, where is he now? He was an atheist. He's in hell. Okay, not really sure if I can appreciate heaven, knowing that my brother is burning in hell forever, but anyway, onwards and upwards. Can I at least have gay sex in heaven? Absolutely not, but remember, I do love you more than everybody else. I am just smitten, you know? You are tops. Fantastic. Hopefully that little sketch has illuminated what exactly I'm trying to point out here. The concept of victim souls is absolutely abhorrent. God is deliberately creating specific people so that they will suffer more than most, so that he can say, oh well, I love you more than these other guys. Doesn't this Michael Voris guy realise how utterly disturbing that is? There are such things as victim souls, people who are created deliberately by God to suffer more than most so that he will love them more for some reason. Thing is, in another video entitled A Real Gay Man, he gets a letter from this guy who's basically saying that, yeah, I'm a homosexual, I have same-sex attraction, and I think it's an affliction, but I live as a Catholic and I resist my urges. And as such, I am closer to God and closer to Jesus because, quote, it really is happier there. Then Voris spends another 2.5 minutes talking about how this guy is a real gay man, extolling him as a paragon of moral virtue, saying that he is, quote,
an interiorly happy individual who is a stand-up man in the best sense of the word.
So hang on a second. People who are gay are examples of victim souls who suffer more than anyone else, and therefore through some odd waltzing missteps of logic, God loves them more. But at the same time, this guy who is clearly a homosexual, clearly a gay guy, who resists his urge to have sex with lots and lots of men, is a lot happier as a result, because he's closer to God. I don't really get that. It seems like a bit of a contradiction to me. Maybe Michael Voris could elaborate on it and explain to me why it's not. But it seems to me like he's saying, hey, if you're gay, you're suffering, and that makes you more loved by God, but at the same time, you'll be happier because you're more loved by God. Basically, everything that's coming out of this weird-haired pencil spinner's mouth is complete insanity. It doesn't really make sense in the real world. And I'm so frustrated by people who are so inculcated and deep into their own ideology that they can't step back and just realise, holy shit, what am I saying? The shitter life you have, the better God will love you. Huh? Now I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that you guys here in the atheist community, whatever that is, have in all likelihood seen videos that are almost exactly like this over and over and over again. In many cases, directly from me. I've talked about hell before. I've talked about religion's weird obsession with suffering and pain. I've done all that before, and you've all seen it before. So why exactly am I going ahead and preaching to the choir and making this video? Well, the thing is, a while ago, I made a video called To Gay Rights Opponents, in which I thought I'd accumulated every single argument against gay marriage and being gay in general, and refuted them one by one. And I thought I got pretty much every single argument. I really did. But ever since making that video, I just keep seeing more and more. And they keep getting more and more absurd. This one, the concept of victim souls, i.e. gay people have to suffer more than everybody else so that they could ultimately be loved more by God, which in a weird way is kind of discriminating against straight people. This is one of the most novel I've seen, and one of the most sickening. It elevates suffering to a virtuous level. And obviously I'm not saying that going through a lot of suffering makes you a bad person, but it doesn't make you a good person either. There are a lot of people in this world who don't learn from what they've been through and are complete bastards. Whether someone suffers or not is not a good indicator of how much you should love them. Basically, this is just another argument against being gay that I've come across that is shocking me with how insidious and cruel it is. And the reason I'm making this video in particular is to let people know that this argument exists and to let people know exactly why it is absolutely absurd. And once I realised that my original video, To Gay Rights Opponents, wasn't exhaustive, I decided to start taking notes. And I began to record all the new, wondrous, fanciful arguments against being gay that I could find. And at some point down the road, in LatumWay's future, there will be a video that I will make that will answer and refute all of them. And this time, I won't be so naive in thinking that I've refuted every single argument against gay marriage, or gay rights in general, or being gay in general. I've realised now that there will always be dozens and dozens of new, hilariously stupid arguments against treating gay people like human beings. And I'm using this video to basically tell you that just like I have done here, I will be there to answer and refute every single fucking one of them. Goodbye everybody, see you next time.